Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the time has finally arrived. I've been waiting many long years since Crimson has been released into this game to finally say these words. But from the bottom of my heart, with my sincerest hopes, it looks like we're heading into a Crimson meta next season. If you take anything away from this video, if you click off right now, be aware that Crimson will be bare minimum a top 3 or 4 hand cannon in the entire game in Season 17. I'm stamping that right now, and if I'm wrong, I'll delete my vaults. Okay, that's too extreme, but I will delete at least one god roll that I truly covet, and I will hold myself to that. If Crimson is not a meta threat next season, I will have a video on this channel. I'll delete one of my precious god rolls, and I will own that. But I'm sure you, who I just yelled at to start this video, are probably wondering why Crimson is going to be one of the best hand cannons in the game next season, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. My name is Lionhearts. Welcome back to the Crucible Brothers. Before we get started, make sure you take a second, hit that like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content. We are on the grind to 10,000 subscribers, and every little bit helps, especially with the algorithm. So if you do those things, we will love you forever. Let's get right into the video. Now, I'm sure this intro was a little bit confusing, especially if you're someone who plays on console or uses a controller as your primary input method. On console, Crimson has been a very present and popular choice for a long time now, but over here on PC, it's always kind of been a lesser used hand cannon. It's still up there in the usage rates. When you go check on a site like Destiny2 you'll see that Crimson's in like that 1.3 to 1.4% usage rate. It's like the 10th or 12th most used weapon overall in the Crucible, and this holds true in competitive as well. But when you start by hand cannons, you see that Crimson's actually the 4th or 5th most used hand cannon in the game, which is pretty surprising because as a PC player, I hardly ever see it unless I'm using it. So just based on the numbers, Crimson is already quite strong, and with the upcoming changes in Season 17, Crimson only stands to get much stronger. Because when we talk about Crimson, its main weaknesses are it takes flinch horribly, and it's not very good in the air. And Destiny 2 is many things. It is a game that relies on you to be able to mitigate flinch, and also values your movement and your in-air accuracy quite a lot. So with Crimson getting stronger in those two areas, that means Crimson gets much stronger overall. The biggest of these by far is the changes to flinch. Crimson comes in with a base 97 stability stat. That means it's already close to the maximum amount of flinch resistance that you can receive for a hand cannon. That means right out the gate, Crimson is going to be mitigating flinch much higher than any other weapon archetype in its class. You throw in an unflinching mod, you crank that resilience, and now Crimson's biggest weakness becomes arguably its biggest strength. Crimson's already a fantastic dueling weapon. It just hurts my physical soul when Ace of Spades has me looking at the ceiling when I'm using a burst fire weapon. So now, Ace can go fuck itself, and therefore we, as Crimson stands, are winning. And for you controller players out there, that awesome reticle friction which already makes Crimson so deadly, guess what? It's way stickier when you aren't looking at the ceiling. So Crimson is going to be deadly as an anti-flinch tank. It's going to be winning 1v1s it currently doesn't win. And when you consider the damage output of Crimson, giving you that 120 RPM damage output in a burst fire weapon, Crimson is going to be outputting a lot of its own flinch, which is part of why it's already so deadly. Everything about this weapon in the 1v1 gets so much stronger. And then you add on top of this the ability to actually shoot in the air reliably, because all exotics are getting better at base now, and Crimson becomes arguably one of the most diverse and versatile hand cannons in the entire game. Think about it, what else do you need? Crimson has high damage output, high flinch rate, it'll have at least decent in-air accuracy, it will take flinch well, and it heals you on kills and refills its magazine on precision shots. This thing is going to be a monster. And that's not even the crazy part. But wait, there's more!
Wait, there's more?
Yes, there is more, Gumi. Let's go over to our live testing environment where, with the power of damage boost, I cut this Guardian in half!
That's a lot of damage!
Basically, due to Crimson's unusually high damage profile for its damage output, you can get 2 temps with any damage boost in the game, which is lethal. Keep in mind that Crimson does the equivalent damage of a 120 RPM hand cannon at the speed of a 140 RPM hand cannon. Its optimal time to kill, 0.87 seconds. You know how fast a 142 tap is? Very, very fast. Crimson plus damage boost equals Pog. Just keep that in mind. Okay, I've been very excited this entire video because Crimson is one of my favorite weapons of all time. Now, we gotta be real for a second. Is Crimson going to be the best weapon in the game? Probably not, because it's still a bit of a weird weapon, especially if you're not used to it. Using a hand cannon but in burst fire feels weird. Crimson is not strong, especially in close range engagements when SMGs push it too close. And SMGs and sidearms stand to get much stronger in the next patch with the shotgun nerfs. So Crimson has its fair amount of weaknesses, but in these standard like 25 to 30 meter engagement distances when you're fighting like your standard hand cannon shotgun user, Crimson is already one of the best weapons in the game, and with these upcoming changes, it's going to get even better. So if you've never tried Crimson before, give it a try. Much like Last Word, I really hate that it gets unfairly labeled as a controller-only weapon. There really isn't anything like that in the game anymore. All weapons excel on all inputs, you just need to put in the time depending on what you're using. Just like with Last Word, if you practice, Crimson becomes one of the best hand cannons in the game, and that's borne out in the statistics. So give it a shot, give it a try, make sure you don't use the default ornament because it's too damn bright, and get out there and slay with one of the coolest hand cannons ever introduced in the game. And that's all we got for today. Kind of a short and sweet video. Not much to cover because Crimson's already kind of a solved problem, but it's one of our favorite guns in the game, so we had to cover it, especially because it stands to gain so much. If you liked the video, make sure you take a second, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. We are the Crucible Brothers, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.